Alrighty, Fern Valley Farmers, it's time for another cooking lesson. How do you like the hat, huh? We're big time now. Alright, what I'm doing today, I should have done this video a little sooner. This is actually Thanksgiving morning and I'm getting things ready here. But I want to show you guys how I make stuffing for your turkey. The way this comes out, this was my mother's recipe. I don't know if it's an old Italian recipe. I think this is the way they all did it back then. This is really good and it's really, really simple. And I do excuse me, cook my stuffing in the turkey. There's controversy, I wasn't controversy, but there's, some people say you shouldn't, some people say, you know, it's fine. I like cooking it in the turkey. As long as it's cooked, the temperature, and the turkey obviously is clean, and everything is the way it should be, I don't see any issues with it. Some people cook it off to the side of the oven, and that's fine. I just like cooking it in the turkey. That's one, I've always just done it that way. My mother's always done it that way, all my relatives have always done it that way, so I just do the same thing. But this is really simple. I got a 13-pound turkey. I haven't gotten to that part yet. For a 13-pound bird, I do about a loaf and a half of bread. All this is bread toasted. I just toast all the bread in the toaster. It takes a little while, and I just break it up into small pieces. And I just pull it apart, just like this. And I just take all the bread. You can buy breadcrumbs, you can buy bread in the store already in clumps. I just like to use the fresh bread. I think it tastes better. And everybody that's eaten this has always said how much they really like it. So yeah, I just got to take all this bread, pull it apart. I already cut up the onions, the celery. I already cut all that up. I've got, maybe five, 6 celery stalks in there. And I've got, 2 or 3, round pieces of onion cut up. And then all I do too is salt and pepper. So let me get all this cut up. And I will show you guys how I mix it all. Let me just finish peeling all this. I just like using the fresh bread. You could even if your bread's starting to go a little stale, or if it's a few days old, whatever, you toast it, it's perfectly fine. I always buy fresh bread. Matter of fact, this loaf here, the one loaf was brand new yesterday. The other loaf was about 3 days old, about a half a loaf left, and that's all I need for the stuffing. So let me just finish this really quick, and we'll get on to the next step. this in. Okay, all the bread is peeled. It's all pulled apart. This really looks like a lot, but it really isn't once you get it all put together. So I'm going to put this in a bigger bowl actually, so it doesn't make such a mess. So that's a loaf and a half of bread. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the celery and the onion. Sometimes I wind up putting too much actually. Sometimes when I start trying to stuff it in the turkey, you can tell if I put too much onion or celery in it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to nuke some butter here, which I wanted to do earlier and I forgot. So I'm going to mix all this. My hands are washed, by the way. I always tell people that. I always wash my hands when I'm doing this. We want to be sanitary. We melt this butter. You want to be careful when you're melting it in the microwave. You can do it on the stove too, I guess, but I just nuke it. I just get it to where it's melting. And then I just kind of stir it up a little bit. I have to do this just a little bit more. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to add the butter to this in a minute. Let me let that, so I'm going to, celery and onion are already mixed in here. So I'm just going to blend all this together. You guys got to try this. This is really, really good. And it's really pretty simple, actually. It takes a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. But the results are worth it. And I have it here again. And I've got a secret ingredient here. Is what really gives a good flavor, which I'll get to in a second here. So celery, onion. I put pepper. Just kind of do it to taste. I don't measure it. Salt. It actually looks like a lot, but it really isn't. It's not really coming out of that shaker that fast. So, just keep mixing it all up. A little bit of salt. Here again, it looks like it's a lot, but it really isn't. This really isn't coming out that fast. Don't want to do too much sodium, right? You want to be careful. But we want some flavor too. The pepper, you don't want to overdo it on the pepper, obviously, because you don't want to bite into it and be like, oh, all that pepper. So we're just going to do this. Sometimes you can taste it too and see how it tastes. A little bit more salt. I know you guys are thinking, oh my God, look at all the salt he's using. Here again, it's really not coming out fast. Okay. So, I'm actually going to taste a piece of this. Wash my hand really fast. A little bit more. A little more pepper. Okay, you guys ready for the secret ingredient here? Sugar. Yes, sugar. Maybe you guys have done this before, I don't know. You put some sugar in this, it makes it sweet, and it is really good. It really gives a good flavor. Like I said, my mother used to do all this all the time, and when I started cooking years ago, I got a bunch of her recipes, and I've been making this stuffing ever since. And like I said, people that eat it for the first time are like, wow, this is really good. Sugar. You really can't, oh, well, I guess you could. I suppose if you really went too heavy on the sugar. But I guess if you were measuring that, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 tablespoons, depending how much bread you're using. Like I said, I've got this figure for a 12 to 13 pound turkey. This will fit in that, actually. That's why I go a loaf and a half. You go a bigger bird, you can go, obviously, more bread and make more stuffing. But I'm going to do, this will fit. I think the turkey I got See, just take the sugar, just kind of put it on, that's enough. That's all you need. I don't measure it, I just do it. And it comes out perfect every time. I got a 13-pound turkey, and this will fit. This should fit right in there. And too, if you're stuffing your bird and you got too much and it's kind of, it won't all stay in, you could put some in the oven, put some tin foil on it, cook it that way too. I just like cooking it in turkey because you get the flavor of the turkey. It gives the stuffing some flavor. And it's just old and traditional, you know. Okay, now that's ready. My butter's starting. Let me warm my butter up for a second here. Let me just nuke this about 10 more seconds here. And then this is pretty much almost done. It's really simple. It's really simple. Hopefully I've got enough celery and onion. It doesn't look like I do, but I think I do. This is a stick and a half of butter. It's not margarine, it's butter. You could use margarine, I guess, if you want. I just use butter. I like butter. This is a stick and a half that I use for 1.5 loaves of bread. So, and I just take the butter, and I just pour it. Put all the butter on there. I love butter. And of course, it's not unsalted butter, because who wants unsalted butter, right? You want flavor. So anyway, a stick and a half of butter. And I'll mix this with my hands, because I'm Italian, we mix it with our hands. That's how we do it. That off to the side. You just kind of mix it in. And you can see it's still a little, it's not real gooey yet. You're thinking, how's that going to fit in the bird? Well, I'm going to show you. There's one more thing to add to this that'll pull this all together. And when you're mixing this, you can feel the butter. You can feel it on your hands here. So I'm going to get this thoroughly mixed, which it just about is right now. And all you do is take some water. Pour some water. This'll gooey it all up for you and clump it all together. And the water does not take away from any of the flavor. All the water does, it just pulls all this together and turns it into a clump. See how it's shrinking now? It's not as big as it was. So you just, here again, I don't measure it. I just use it until it's at the right consistency, if you want to use that word. So I'm just going like this. Still a little dry. I always just fill a glass of water and just keep, I'm going to put all that in. I'm probably going to need some more. Here again, that was about a cup of water, but you can't really go by. See, now it's starting to pull together. And the water's not going to hurt it. When you put this in the bird, that water is going to evaporate. All you're doing is putting enough water in here to clump all this together. Just when you go to stuff the turkey, it all stays together. But the water is not going to take away any of the flavor. I need some more. Yeah, the water is not going to take any of the flavor away. It's just helping it. It just holds it all together. But do it in a big enough bowl, so do it in a big enough bowl so when you're mixing it, I don't know why I pulled that small bowl out. I know better. This way, when you're mixing it, it's not falling all over the place. Yeah, good. You can see. Sometimes I get a little excited with the onions and celery, but it's really good in the turkey. So I do have enough in there. You'll be able to tell when you're mixing this if you've got too much onion or celery. That's all up to you as far as taste. You can tell if you have too much. If you don't have enough, you can always add to it if you want. I just usually, here again, I just guess. I think about a half an onion, 4, 5, 6 celery stalks, depending how thick they are. And that's it. There. It's all clumped together. That's it. This stuffing is ready to go. Well, I got to pull the turkey out of the fridge, wash it out, get it stuffed, and it's ready to go. And if I have any extra, which I don't think I will, I think this will fit in there. I'll put it like in a glass bowl or a glass cooking, a glass baking pan. Put tin foil over it and cook it the rest of it that way. But this should all fit. But see how all that bread, what it shrunk down to? See how small it is now? But that'll fit in about a 13-pound bird. you got a 20-pound turkey, maybe go 2 loaves of bread. You got to kind of experiment. And you can just kind of write it down, make yourself a little note. That's what I do. That's how I know this. I have a little note that says for a 12-pound bird, loaf and a half of bread, 1.5 butter. You know, obviously if it's a 20-pound turkey, I would make this more. I'd go probably 2 sticks of butter. I'd go more celery, more onion, more bread, more salt, pepper, sugar. But sugar is the trick. This will give you really good flavor. And it's not, if you overdid it with the sugar, you would be able to tell. But if you just kind of do like how I did it, you can even taste the bread. When the bread tastes sugary, you're good. You know, you can just kind of taste it as you're cooking it. Same thing with the salt and pepper. You just take a piece of the bread and eat it and see how it is. Normally I would taste that sugar, but I know I've done this enough times now. I just know about that much sugar. But if you're not sure, just take a piece of the bread and eat it. See what you think. You'll get your flavor. So hopefully you guys try this. I don't need to show you guys how to stuff the turkey. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. I might do a video here on getting the turkey ready, but I got to get all this finished first. But hopefully you like the video. If you do, consider subscribing to the channel. Support the channel. There's a little bell next to the subscribe button. If you do subscribe, hit the bell. You'll get a notification next time I make a video. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Any questions, comments? I'll put the recipe on the below the video here so you guys can see this. So I think that's it. So hopefully, probably when you guys are watching this now, Thanksgiving will be over. But you got Christmas coming, so if you make a turkey on Christmas, try this or any other time. I'll even do this during the middle of the year sometimes. If I make a chicken, I'm in the mood for stuffing, I'll just do this. So anyways, hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you really enjoy this. And if you do try it and you do make it, leave me a comment. See what you think. So I will talk to you guys next time, YouTube. We'll see you. Bye.